a happy Wednesday to you. Detroit one-hit the Mariners last night, dropping Seattle to a 2-4 start on the season with the 4-1 victory. Logan Gilbert was touched up for 3 runs in the first 3 innings. His pitch count got up, so he only lasted through 5. In the meantime, he did strike out 10 batters in the loss.
As this ends up by Bliss into right field. Kerry Carpenter attacking early. The Tigers have the lead in the first inning once again. 3-1. Lifted into left. This gets down for a base hit. That extra base for Carpenter coming into play. It's 2-0 and another airmail, this time from Arozarena. The Tigers are peppering the Mariners in the first inning in this series. Right field, off the bat of Torkelson toward the corner. That is a hit all the way to the wall. It's going to be 3-0, and the month of torque that was March has now rolled into April. First base side. Oh my goodness, torque again flying through the Seattle sky. Torque's up.
Boy, and this is it. Spencer has had a rough day at the plate with 3 strikeouts, but you know what? He can affect the game with plays like that. Look at him up on his toes, that pre-pitch preparation where he's got that little hop, gets right up onto his toes and able to dive to his right.
Maybe if it is a changeup.
Cracked out to left. Will it drop? No, it hangs up in time. Caught by McKinstry. Throw home is well wide of the plate. Arozarena scores.
Two-1 rolled to first. Torkelson collects a victory for the Tigers. Another first inning surge holds up. Tommy Kahnle gets his first Tiger save, and it's 2 in a row in the win column and a chance for a sweep with Skubal tomorrow.
Dan Wilson says Logan gave Seattle everything he could, while Detroit starter Casey Mize kept the Mariner hitters off balance.
You know, Logan, I thought he pitched well for those 5 innings. You know, they got to him a little bit early, but you know, 10 punchies in the 5 innings. You know, I thought he settled into a pretty good rhythm, and it was a night where we needed him to go deep, and you know, he really got us to where we needed to be, and you know, still wanted to go more. You know, he was determined to get us through 6, but you know, we were at a point there where we had to you know, do what we had to do, but the bullpen, you know, stepped up and did their job again tonight and kept it right where it was. We're early on here, and we got to be realistic about where we're at. The competitor and him wanted to go out and keep going. Again, when you have a bullpen that's been doing what these guys have been doing, it's, you know, you feel pretty good about giving the ball to them as well. Location was pretty good tonight, and just kept us from mounting anything. You know, we did again hit a couple balls hard at timely times, or at timely points in the game. You know, they were able to make a play and kind of shut things down. But yeah, I mean, we just weren't able to get much going offensively. You know, splitters it's one of those pitches that's, you know, seemingly it's either on or off. And tonight he had a good one. You know, just weren't able to square it up. You know, for whatever reason, you know, he had it going to where he good location with it, kept it down. And just, you know, weren't able to stay on that pitch well enough to get a barrel to it.
Detroit was going for the sweep earlier today at T-Mobile Park. After today, the Mariners are heading for San Francisco to begin a weekend series with the Giants starting on Friday. By the way, the Mariners were off to a good start today. Highlights tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. The Angels have the early lead in the American League West. Now, there's a lot of people that would have bet against that. L.A. won another extra inning game last night, topping St. Louis 9-7 in 11 innings. Texas blanked the Reds 1-0. San Francisco beat Houston 3-1. The Cubs beat the Athletics by a final of 7-4. Seattle Kraken begin a 3-game road trip tonight. They are in Vancouver to take on the Canucks.
This season doesn't end and start next year. It starts right now. I think you got to try, and we've talked about that for the last month and a half, about just trying to build an identity as a group, building some culture, and feeling proud about what we accomplished in the last little bit, even though the circumstances.
Given the opportunity, he's turned into a clear difference maker for us, and I think we've seen it for 2.5 months, but last game in particular, you saw him and his line getting back to the offensive zone, hanging on to pucks, making plays, creating zone time, and just being a dangerous group and a dangerous person doing so. And the goal is an indication of that, but the goal is an indication of the line playing well.
The game at Rogers Arena tonight begins at 7:30. It'll be a broadcast on King 5 and Kong TV. The Wenatchee baseball team won its 5th straight last night. Panthers blanked Sunnyside by a final of 6-0. Moses Lake beat Eisenhower by that same score of 6-zip. Eastmont blasted Davis 14-1. Other action saw Cashmere and Royal split a doubleheader, with the Bulldogs winning the opener 15-5, while the Knights took the nightcap 5-4. Selah doubled up Ephrata 8-4. Ellensburg down Quincy 8-2, and Chelan clobbered Cascade 16-0. Wenatchee won its first Big Nine fast pitch game of the season, downing Sunnyside 5-3 last night. Natchez Valley swept Chelan in a doubleheader 18-15 and 20-3. Big Nine boys soccer last night saw Sunnyside edging Eastmont 2-1, while Moses Lake blanked West Valley 2-0. In CWAC play, Ephrata topped Ellensburg 2-0, while Grandview shut out Quincy 2-0. Cashmere earned a big non-league win over LaSalle by a final of 7-0. Finally, NCWLIFE features Big Nine boys soccer Friday night when the Wenatchee Panthers host the Moses Lake Mavericks at Lee-Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wiesen will have the call. Our pregame gets underway at 6:45 right here on your local TV station. That's a check of sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Wednesday.